Well, here we are again with another Ben Simmons video. Yeah, we've been making a lot of Ben Simmons videos recently, well, because he's one of the biggest stories going in, well, in this offseason. It has just been known, as of recording this like 5 hours ago, that he's let the Philadelphia 76ers know that he wants to be traded and will not be attending training camp for the Sixers. Which means he wants to be traded as soon as possible, and he quite likes the LA teams. But I have 5 trade packages that I think potentially would be more realistic. So with these 5 trade packages, I will be doing those trades and then rebuilding the team around Ben Simmons all the way I see fit to make the best team possible for Ben Simmons to try and win a championship. We'll do that 5 times for every single trade situation, and we'll look to see where Ben Simmons should really end up this year. Of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel right now, we're trying to hit 20k subs, so if you haven't subscribed, like, right now. Also, like the video, that helps too. Trade number 1. I'm going to start at the least likely to the most likely, in my opinion. Trade number 1 is with the San Antonio Spurs. I see the Ben Simmons for Derek White, Thaddeus Young, Doug McDermott, and 2 first-round picks. I've seen DeJounte Murray in this trade talk as well. Honestly, if I'm the Spurs, I'm not getting rid of DeJounte Murray. I think DeJounte is a very key piece to this team, and it would help the Spurs out defensively having Ben Simmons and DeJounte Murray. Even if you wanted to run Ben Simmons at the point, DeJounte at the 2, or DeJounte at the point, Ben Simmons at the 3 or the 4. The Spurs have a lot of positions that need filling because they're quite a young side. Ben Simmons would be there for a long time, could be the cornerstone of the Spurs rebuild. But the Spurs giving up Derek White, Thaddeus Young, Doug McDermott, and 2 first-round picks for Ben Simmons. I don't see this being very likely in the NBA, but for 2K purposes, let's make this happen and let's rebuild the Spurs. So like I was saying, I think I am going to be running Ben Simmons at the small forward position. Actually, I just realized we have Keldon Johnson who can run the small forward position. So we might run Ben Simmons at the point, DeJounte at the shooting guard, right? So our backcourt is set. We then have Keldon Johnson at the 3, Zach Collins and Jakob Poeltl. We're going to try and win a championship in one season, but I'm not going to make a lot of trades. So I'm going to try and find ourselves a good maybe front court player that we can bring onto the team, like a Draymond Green. That's perfect. Draymond Green coming onto the team adds some defense, which is, honestly, this team is going to be elite defensively. We now just need a starting center. I'm not sure who I should go after. I quite like Bryn Forbes off the bench, so we're not going to move him. Devin Vassell, he's not bad. Lonnie Walker, I think, because we got Devin Vassell, we don't really need Lonnie Walker anymore. Sorry, Spurs fans. With the recent addition of Larry Markkinen, the Cavs have a whole lot of depth at the center forward positions, power forward position, which means, yes, they've just signed Jarrett Allen to the extension, but that means that the Cavaliers can afford to be moving on from Jarrett Allen. So we're going to be trading Lonnie Walker for Jarrett Allen, a nice defensive center, a young defensive center that we can build around. Yes, we've got Draymond Green, who is not exactly young, but it's Draymond Green. He's there to mentor the young guys. So our starting 5 is a Simmons, Murray, Johnson, Green, and Allen. I'm fine with that. Bryn Forbes, I'm fine with coming off the bench. Same with Devin Vassell. Josh Primo, yes, he is young. We're not going to be trading him, though. He is young. He's a nice young asset that can be used. I think the Spurs would do good if they send him down to the G League. As you can see, he's 17 years old. He's got plenty of room to grow. We need front court depth off the bench. So a center or a power forward off the bench that can maybe play a little bit of defense, not a lot, just a little bit, would be ideal, but one doesn't seem to be coming up in the trade finder here, so we're gonna have to make our own trade. Derek Favors, if we gave up maybe 3 second-round picks with the Thunder, Derek Favors is a nice bench piece for us to use. We've got Bryn Forbes, Devin Vassell, and Derek Favors off the bench, which means we now just need a backup point guard, and we have ourselves a team, fam. We have ourselves a team once we get ourselves a backup point guard. So Windler and Henry, what type of point guards get offered up here? Not a lot. Sugar, honey. Raul Neto. He did have a pretty good season this year. Why not? We'll bring him on the team. So we've got a Simmons, Murray, Johnson, Green, and Allen starting 5 with Derek Favors, Bryn Forbes, Devin Vassell, and Raul Neto off the bench. Yes, we are going to be running a 9-man rotation this year, Greg Popovich. Hate to break it to you, mate. We're running a 9-man. Raul's probably only going to get 11 a night. Devin Vassell about 15. Bryn Forbes can get about 20, and Derek Favors can get about 25. Actually, I'll bring that down to 23 and bring that down to 19. Jarrett Allen can play about 33. Draymond can play about 32. Keldon can play 30. DeJounte playing 35, and Simmons is going to be playing 39 a night. I might up Draymond Green's minutes a little bit here. Might do something a bit like that. Simmons first scoring option, then DeJounte, and then I could probably go Keldon as our third. We are running a pretty good defensive system, so We might keep it there. It's pretty dang good defensively. And the Spurs, I'm assuming, are right down the bottom here. 13th, apparently. Let's simulate a season, see what goes down. I don't expect us to be that. We won 50 games this year. I didn't expect to see that. Jokic wins MVP. Frank Vogel, Coach of the Year. Do we get any All-NBA teams? Sure, yeah. We get Ben Simmons, All-NBA second team. And no third team for us, but that's all right. We finish as a 4 seed. We managed to get San Antonio to finish as a 4 seed. That's tremendous. Simmons dropped 24.8, 8 and 8 on a steal and a half and 0.7 blocks a game. DeJounte dropped 16. Jared Allen dropped 15 and 10. And then Keldon dropped 14, 6 and 3.5. Derek Favors off the bench did well as well. Considering this team wasn't exactly score heavy, we did well. Did we put the ball in the hoop a lot? Or we just played really good defense? We just played really good defense, didn't we? We played tremendous defense. We were the second best defense in the league. Our differential was the 5th best in the NBA. Goddamn, alright. We just played lockdown defense. So first round here against the Jazz. Okay, we somehow win. And now we've got the Lakers in the second round. We've managed to go from the lottery to second round of the playoffs. Don't ask how we did it. We just traded for Ben Simmons, made a couple trades. Yeah, we're starting to Devin Vassell now, so that's pretty cool. Game 1 is an L. Yeah, like I said, I don't expect us to beat the best team in the comp right now, according to 2K. I don't expect us to beat them. We're down 3-1. I'm just happy we won a game here, to be honest with you. If we just won a game against them, and I'm happy about it. We won 1 game. We did something right. We actually won 2 games. We've won 2 games against probably the best team according to 2K. It is the best team according to 2K, let's just be honest. According to 2K, we did alright. We built a very defensive heavy team. We won 2 games on the Lakers. I'd say that's a W for the Spurs, considering their team is still super young. Average age of about, 24, 25. Team's still super young. We still got a super young core. Ben Simmons is there for 5 more years. I think that rebuild was a dub. Trading for Ben Simmons should be a viable option for the Spurs. I just don't see the Sixers accepting that deal. That's the only problem I have with that trade. But on to trade number 2. Trade number 2, I have with the Toronto Raptors, Ben Simmons and a pick swap in 2023 for Pascal Siakam, 2 unprotected first-round picks, and a swap pick in 2023. I think this is probably not exactly likely for the Raptors. I think they'd probably want more for Pascal Siakam. To be fair, I think Pascal Siakam isn't a great fit on the 76ers. But it's Daryl Morey. He might be able to find a way to get Siakam and then bring a third team involved and do that. But today's video, we are doing this trade, just a 2-team trade with Ben Simmons, Pascal Siakam swap. Just more picks are going towards Philadelphia because I'd say Ben Simmons, not by much, has a bit more trade value. So this rotation right now, I'm fine with these 3 starting. I'm okay with that. Scotty Barnes, I'm fine with coming off the bench, which means we don't need Chris Boucher. So we could use Chris Boucher and, say, Keem Birch to try and get ourselves a starting power forward or something like that. I'm fine with Goran Dragic coming off the bench as well. So if we go Keem Birch, Chris Boucher, we need ourselves either a starting power forward or center. That would be ideal. One is not coming up for us in the trade finder. Is there a way that I could get Mo Bamba to the Raptors? I don't think there is, but if Mo Bamba could maybe... We gave up 2 first-round picks for Mo Bamba, but I quite like Mo as a starting center. I think he has a lot of potential. Considering this Raptors team is looking to go younger, I'm fine with that. To be fair, actually, I don't mind Scotty Barnes starting. I don't mind it. He's going to develop for us. I don't mind Scotty Barnes starting for us. Precious Achiuwa coming off the bench, I'm fine with as well. We now just need a backup small forward? Yeah, backup small forward, and we should be A-okay. Derek Jones Jr. I don't think I'm going to hold on to him for very long, but he should have a decent amount of trade value to pair with, SV and get ourselves a better backup small forward. Just Sean Tate isn't bad. Larry Nance. There's a couple of players that I would like to trade for. It's just, Ooh, Taurean Prince. That's not bad. Taurean Prince is not bad at all to have off of a bench, fam. Taurean Prince, I like that. Yeah, Taurean, you're coming onto the team, man. You got some defense that we can definitely use as well. That should be fine, man. And yeah, we should be alright, you know. So not much to rebuild here because the Raptors are on the timeline where they're kind of rebuilding. They've got Ben Simmons, Fred VanVleet, Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, and Mo Bamba as a starting 5. We got Goran Dragic, Gary Trent, Taurean Prince, and Precious Achiuwa off of the bench. Still got to make Simmons and VanVleet our scoring options are... Yeah, no, we're not going to have a third scoring option. Do we have any 4-star systems? If not, I'll just run a perimeter sentry. I should probably run something a little bit better, eh? Pace and space seems to be alright. I'll run a pace and space system. And the Raptors somehow are projected 12th. I don't think this is going to go as successfully as the Spurs one did, but let's see what happens to this new look Toronto Raptors team. Ben Simmons makes the All-Star team, which is pretty cool. 34 and 48. Not great, not as good as our Spurs one did, that's for sure. Anthony Davis won MVP, something we don't see very often on the channel, let's be honest here. So, Ben Simmons, does he do alright? Does he make an All-NBA? He does make All-NBA second team, so he himself did alright individually, but the Raptors do not make playoffs. So let's have a look at the stats. 23.5, 11 and 8 for Ben Simmons, and then almost 23 and 6 for Van Vliet. Scotty Barnes had a pretty good rookie season with 14.5, 7.6 and 2 assists a game on a steal and a bit a game and a block a game as well. OG dropped 12, Goran dropped 12. Mo Bamba did alright starting with a double-double. It's alright. Offensively, we were about the 5th worst team, and our defense, I think our defense wasn't bad. We just didn't have the offense, yeah? Yeah, we were inside the top 10 for our defense, so defensively, we were a good team. It's just our offense just couldn't hold us. So on to trade number 3. Trade number 3 is with the Golden State Warriors. So for Ben Simmons, the Philadelphia 76ers get Andrew Wiggins, Moses Moody, their rookie from this year, and 2 first-round picks. One is a Minnesota pick this year, and one is just an unprotected first-round pick from the Warriors. I don't know if the Sixers would say yes to this because Wiggins doesn't exactly feel what they need. They are looking for a shot-creating guard that they can start. That's what they're trying to get for Simmons. It's what makes the most sense. Either a point guard or a shooting guard that can facilitate, shoot the 3-ball, and, you know, basically create his own shot. Ben Simmons doesn't provide that. That's what they're trying to get for Ben Simmons. Andrew Wiggins, though, not exactly what they're looking for, but he's a decent asset along with Moses Moody, who could progress into that player alongside Tyrese Maxey and chuck in 2 first-round picks. And I think it is a pretty hard offer to say a no to, considering teams aren't offering that much for Ben Simmons right now. So this trade, let's see what happens with Ben Simmons on the Warriors. So naturally, Ben Simmons is going to be playing the small forward this year. We've got Steph Curry, Klay Thompson as our backcourt. There's no way that we're going to be changing that backcourt. Simmons at the 3, Draymond Green at the 4, and maybe we could get a better starting center. I do like James Wiseman, but we could maybe pair Wiseman and Otto Porter for someone. Considering we have Kuminga and Toscano, we don't really need Otto Porter. So maybe we can find Wiseman, Otto Porter. Maybe we could find something here for at the starting center position. Because Wiseman has a lot of value, it is pretty easy to find someone. So maybe if we just look for James Wiseman trades, or maybe we look around, see what we can do for a better starting center, because we have a couple of young blokes that we can use in trades to get a pretty decent backup, a starting center, should I say. Maybe a center in Miles Turner. Could we literally just give up James Wiseman for... Oh, no, never mind. We can't just give up James Wiseman. What if we give you Otto Porter? You give me Isaiah Jackson. Isaiah Jackson has a bit of trade value, my guy. Gee whiz. Give me Edmund Sumner. Who's going to require $3 million to us? I will give you Bielitsa. You are going to give me Jakar Simpson, and that's not going to work out for us, is it? $5.63 million. We'll give you Kevon Looney. We're giving up a couple of guys here for him, but we did just get ourselves Miles Turner, which means our starting 5 is set. We ain't touching it. Defensively, wow, it's only Steph Curry that won't perform on this defensive end, which we can make up for. We then have Jordan Poole, Jonathan Kuminga off the bench, Juan Toscano, Iguodala. Probably a point guard or center for off the bench would be ideal. Hassan Whiteside, that's just perfect. Hassan Whiteside is literally just perfect for off this bench. We can actually find ourselves another player. We'll run a 10-man rotation this year. I barely ever run 10-man rotations, but why not, man? If we can get ourselves a pretty decent backup point guard, why not run a 10-man, you know? So we might have just signed LaMarcus Aldridge in free agency. We don't need him. So we're going to trade him with Jakar Simpson for... Samson, should I say, for Patrick Beverley and Nathan Knight. There we go. The trade's gone through, and we now have a backup point guard that's going to play defense in Patrick Beverley. We're going to be running a 10-man rotation. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Ben Simmons, Draymond Green, Miles Turner. We then have Hassan Whiteside, Patrick Beverley, Jordan Poole, Jonathan Kuminga, and Juan Toscano off the bench. Steph Curry, first scoring option, Simmons, and then I'm going to go Klay Thompson. Sure. We might as well stick to a perimeter-centric system, and the Warriors are projected 3 in the NBA, so... Let's see what happens this year, shall we? Steph Curry and Ben Simmons are both all-stars. Pretty good. Again, Anthony Davis, MVP. That's back-to-back times he's won MVP, bro. That's back-to-back times. God damn. Do we get any All-NBA teams? That would be pretty good if we do. But we do not. Lovely, lovely. And we make it as a 6th seed. I can't believe we only won that many games. We actually only won 43 games. And we finished as a 6th seed. Have a look. Steph dropped 22.2. Simmons dropped about 20. 10 and 9 for Simmons. 4 and 7 for Curry. And then 19.4, 2.4, and 4 for Clay. So Hassan dropped 12 and 10. I see you, Hassan Whiteside. I see he's coming for that starting role. He's coming for that starting role. Offensively, the Warriors were 15th. Defensively, does that mean we were pretty good defensively? Yes, we were. We were one of the better teams defensively, which is awesome. 6th seed against the Zion-led New Orleans Pelicans. We beat them in 5 games. Okay, now we've got the Portland Trail Blazers, who are still starting Tony Snell. I don't know why they wouldn't start Robert Covington, but 2K, you do your thing, mate. You do your fucking thing. So if game 1 is an L, game 2 is a W, game 3 is an L, game 4 is a W. So we've tied the seasons. We've tied the series here. Game 5, W. Ooh, boys. We're in the Western Conference Finals taking on the dreaded Los Angeles Lakers. Simmons can lock up LeBron. Kuminga's going to have a hard time against Davis. And then Steph's going to get wrecked by Westbrook. I mean, we could switch Clay onto Westbrook, I suppose. But it's 2K. 2K's going to absolutely obliterate us with this, aren't they? They're going to kill us. They're going to kill us. We're going to lose in like 5 games or so. Watch. 3-1. Yeah, like I said, 5 games. We're losing 5 to the Lakers in the West Finals. That's the furthest we've been, though. That is the furthest we've been. Trade number 4 is with the Sacramento Kings. So Ben Simmons for Buddy Hield, Marvin Bagley, Devon Mitchell, and a first-round pick. Yes, there's quite a lot of young talent here that the 76ers are getting in return for Ben Simmons. So they get a young forward in Marvin Bagley who still has room to grow. Devon Mitchell, I don't think he belongs on the Sacramento Kings roster. Yes, I think he's going to turn into a good player, but behind Halliburton and Fox, I don't really see him really progressing in Sacramento. And then Buddy Hield as a player that can shoot, as one of the best shooters in the league. He can get his own shot, shoot the 3 ball. I think this would be pretty good. Plus, chuck in a first-round pick as a sweetener. I think the Sixers would be stupid not to say yes to this deal, to be fair. I don't think the Sixers have to say yes to that deal, right? So once again, we have moved Ben Simmons to the power forward. Well, he has only been at a small forward, but we've moved Ben Simmons to the power forward because we got front courts filled already. We got Fox and Halliburton with Harrison Barnes as a nice starting small forward. We then have Tristan Thompson. We need to upgrade at the center position. Yes, we do have Rashawn Holmes, but I think Rashawn Holmes is more of a bench center, not going to lie. He did have a very good season last year, but I think if we traded Thompson and say like Lan or Mo Harkless, we could get ourselves a better starting center, which means we could probably move Halliburton to the bench. So we need a better starting center. You know what? We'll try run it. I can't really think of anyone else who could play that center position because we don't really have a whole bunch more assets. So I'm going to run that. I'm going to run this starting 5. We then have Tristan Thompson off the bench. I don't love that. We are trading Tristan Thompson. Terrence Davis is going to stay. Tristan Thompson, Alex Len. Could we get maybe a nice bench piece like Oladipo and Duncan Robinson? Those are some nice bench pieces, not gonna lie. Lou Dort, Derek Favors, there's some nice bench pieces as well. As if I'd say no to that. We do have Derek Favors as a backup power forward now. So we got 1, 2, 3 off the bench. Ooh, maybe we don't hold on to Lou Dort, mate. Maybe we trade Lou Dort and Mo Harkless because we need a what do we need? A bloody small forward. Small forward or a point guard, either way. Ooh, Kyle Anderson and Desmond Bane. Don't mind if I do, 2K. Don't mind if I do. We then have... Ooh, okay. So what? Desmond Bane plays the shooting guard small forward. Terrence Davis plays the shooting guard point guard. Alright. We can run that. We can definitely run that. We'll run a 9-man. Luke Walton, mate. I'm taking over as head coach, brother. I'm taking over. So we've got a Fox, Halliburton, Barnes, Simmons, and Holmes starting 5 with Derek Favors, Kyle Anderson, Desmond Bane, and Terrence Davis off the bench. I am going to make Ben Simmons, Fox, and then Halliburton our scoring options. We'll run a perimeter perimeter-centric system again, and the Sacramento Kings this year are projected 25th. So hopefully we can make the Kings make the playoffs. Can we break this drought, please? Ben makes the All-Star team again. It's clearly not enough because we've only won 24 games this year. And after saying that, we went on a run. We've gone 47-35, which means, I'm assuming, that we made the playoffs. We've got the Sacramento Kings back in the playoffs, boys. We've gotten Sacramento back in the NBA playoffs. We have secured the 6th seed in the Western Conference, which is ideal. It's perfect. Let's have a look at these stats. De'Aaron dropped 22.8, 2.8, and 7.5 on a steal and a half a game. Ben Simmons dropped 20.8, 10, and 8.5 on what? Almost 2 steals a game and a block a game. And then Halliburton dropped 17, 3, and 7.5. Pretty dang awesome there. Offensively, the Sacramento Kings were 15th best, and then our defense was the 8th best in the NBA. So we were up there. We weren't in the top 10 for differential, but we definitely showed improvements by trading for Ben Simmons. So let's just simulate around. We're probably going to get swept almost. We got gentlemen swept by the Kings, but by the Mavericks. But the Kings have moved in the right direction by trading for Ben Simmons. I suggest if the Kings want to get better, offer up Bagley, offer up Bagley, Hield, and Davion Mitchell. You never know. Maybe the Philadelphia 76ers will say yes to that because they're getting quite a few young assets. Plus, Buddy Hield, one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA, could be something. And for our 5th and final trade, we have the Portland Trailblazers with CJ McCollum, not Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard, I don't think is going to be going anywhere. So I think splitting that backcourt up either way, trading CJ for Ben Simmons adds more depth for the team, plus chuck in 2 first-round picks. CJ adds what the Sixers need: a scorer, a facilitator, a three-point shooter. Blazers mix it up a bit. They bring more defense onto the team, which they need because they were a bottom 5 ranked defense in the NBA. Plus, also, we get another all-star to pair alongside Damian Lillard, which he has not had since 2015, if you guys don't know that. With a player like Norman Powell, I think could fill in at the starting shooting guard position. He's definitely pretty dang awesome to put there. So we got Lillard, Powell, Simmons, Larry Nance, and Nurkic. I'm not going to touch that starting 5. Robert Covington, Cody Zeller, Tony Snell, Fernie Simons. The bench isn't great. We could probably trade Tony Snell. We trade Tony Snell with like Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, who did get pretty decent minutes last year, but we're trying to win the NBA championship here. At least make him contenders. I'll take Jashawn Tate from the Houston Rockets. He's a nice defender, perimeter defender to have off the bench. We need a backup point guard. Fernie Simons, yes, he is young. He's 21, but we're trying to win this season. So backup point guard in Jalen Brunson. I don't think the Dallas Mavericks are going to move on from Jalen Brunson IRL, but we're the Blazers. We are taking control of this right now. So Robert Covington, our backup power forward. I'm fine. Yeah, okay, I'm fine with this team. Lillard, Powell, Simmons, Larry Nance, Yusuf Nurkic starting 5 with Robert Covington, Jalen Brunson, Cody Zeller, and Jashawn Tate. Pretty good. Lillard, Simmons. I'm not going to have a third option, boys. I'm not going to have a third option. Do we have a 3.5-star system with perimeter centric or 7 seconds? I'm going to run a 7-second system this year. We haven't run that all video, so maybe that changes things. And the Blazers are projected 9th in the NBA. Let's see what happens. Hopefully, we can do something for the Blazers here. Damian Lillard is an all-star starter, paired alongside another all-star in Ben Simmons. Damian Lillard finally has himself an all-star teammate. Let's go. We go 59-23. I was hoping for a 60-win plus season, but it's pretty close. And we get Coach of the Year, which is pretty dang awesome. So any all-NBA teams, we do get Damian Lillard, and we don't get Ben Simmons. Okay, but we finish as a 1 seed in the West. All right, maybe we did a lot better than I thought. Lillard dropped about 31 points a game, 3.4 rebounds, and about 9.3 assists a game, on a steal a game as well. Simmons dropped 19.1, 9, and 8.4. Powell definitely filled in CJ McCollum's shoes. 16.5, 1.8, and 3.4. Yes, the playmaking wasn't there, but we added Simmons, who definitely brings more playmaking. Nurkic, 12 and 11, and then Covington dropped about 11. 11 points for Robert Jeez, all right, big fella. I see you. Offensively, we were the second best offense. Our defense was second best, and our differential was the best in the league. So, First round against the Jazz. Wouldn't be surprised if we sweep. All right, that's awesome. We've now got the Clippers. Hello, boys. How you doing? The Clippers. I'm a little bit scared of them. We won in 7. It took 7 games to beat the Clippers, so I'm assuming we're going to take a fat L against the Lakers. We are currently down 2-1. Make that 3-1. Goddamn, we're going to lose to the Lakers. The Lakers have been our kryptonite this entire video. We're going to lose to the Lakers, aren't we? We bring it back a little bit, but I don't see us beating this Lakers team. They're our kryptonite every single time. Every single time. Western Conference Finals, I suppose. We got Damian Lillard, another All-Star, but I was expecting this team to do a lot more than it did. However, adding Simmons probably maybe convinced Damian Lillard to stay. Another Western Conference Finals appearance. You never know. Maybe something like that could happen. It improves the Trailblazers' defense, which, trust me, they need to do that this year. They can't be a bottom 5 defense if they want to go to the Western Conference Finals again. I don't know if Ben Simmons can make their defense a top 5 defense, but it can't be bottom 5 anymore. Anyway, lads, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I'm sorry if it was quite a long one, but if you enjoyed it, be sure to like, subscribe, all that stuff. If there is a different place that you guys would like to see Ben Simmons traded to, let me know down in the comments down below. I'm very interested. There's quite a few teams that I think potentially could do it that I've left off this list, such as like Minnesota. I think Minnesota could give it a red hot go if they are willing to give up D'Angelo Russell. And I'm sure I'm missing a few, but I've been recording for an hour now and I'm pretty exhausted. So guys, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.